Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias and welcome back to Stoneblock. In the last episode, let's see, what were we doing? We were doing some RF tools dimension hopping. And then I feel like we were doing something different last episode, but I don't actually remember. It's been a little bit. It's been quite a bit. So I did a little bit of something last night actually. I loaded this up and let it set for most of the night. And we have a few wither skulls. Hold up. What? That was not a right number of wither skulls in here. Something is not right with our connection. So there should be external storage here. And it looks like it's overly full. Not sure what's going on there. Anyways, we have almost 300 stacks of wither skeleton skulls. So yeah, it's been on for a little bit. I was doing it mostly, so there's no, I can see the loot bags. Okay, there they are. So that's about 20,000 wither skulls. Yeah, I let this set for quite a while. I want to get some stones we can repair. And I wasn't really doing anything. I was just kind of AFKing. I did make some new worlds to go explore, trying to look for dimlets. Notable ones, I made one that, let's go over here and look at them. So we have this is a pretty standard world. Nothing too interesting about it other than the fact that it was checkerboard. So each chunk there was distinct squares of biomes, which is kind of cool. The canyons, I don't think that one did anything. And then the huge liquid orbs is actually really interesting because it's one of the most expensive ones we've made so far of the dimlets, and it's because it had huge orbs of lava. So that was a thing. But yeah, so the main reason I AFK'd was for erodium. We have a lot of erodium, and also I should point out, these things are working out pretty good. We are to the alchemical coal blocks, which if we look at this, let's just look at this. The alchemical coal blocks, next step is the H-analysis fuel, which is what we need for making dark matter. So yeah, that was kind of nice. I have used the the time in a bottle on it a little bit to speed it up, but not that much. And yeah, the other thing is we do have the neutronium that we need to make the seeds. But before we get into that, today I want to use a lot of this erodium. I want to start upgrading our laser. But before we do, one of the things I'm going to want, the reason why I want to upgrade the laser, before we upgrade the solar array, because that is actually a quest, and I should mention, by the way, I'm trying to get my cobalt pickaxe to be unbreakable. I need one more reinforcement, but I don't have any more modifiers left. I had to think about that one for a second. And so, yeah, as soon as I get another modifier on here, I'm going to make it unbreakable. I actually had it break while I was mining something. I don't remember what. But, yeah. So the reason I want to upgrade the Void Ore Miner first is because the next tier, if we take a look at the next tier, it is... so tier 1 doesn't have any modifiers, but tier 2 has modifiers. We can use accuracy modifiers, luck modifiers, which I'm not entirely sure what those do. Modifiers. It doesn't actually tell me. Okay. So luck probably gives us fortune or something. I'm not entirely sure. But what we want is we're going to want speed upgrades, which requires erodium, and lonsolite, which is kind of nasty, and mica. Mica is the hard part. That is the part that we need to get a void resource miner for. Void resource miners will give us mica if we use a white laser lens at about 4%, so that's not too bad. And what I really want is the accuracy modifiers, which requires palladium, which is a tier 3 void ore miner. But at the very least, getting the speed upgrades would be nice. Now, we don't have any Lunzelite. That requires a black laser lens. So, let's get a second laser lens. We're going to turn one of these into white. So we're going to need bone meal. In this version of Minecraft, it is still bone meal, not white dye, and ink sacs, not black dye, to make the two different colored laser lenses. So we're going to want the black one first. And something that I'm half considering doing, but I don't necessarily want to, is I could just make another structure, but I don't really want to. So let's take the crystal lens, and let's put the black lens, and just kind of let that go for a little bit. And hopefully we'll get a couple Lunzelite. I think 4 would be enough for right now. And we'll get back to that later. So we'll check on it after a bit, see if we have a little bit of Lunzelite. I could go ahead and make the modifiers, because we do need to make the null modifiers regardless, which... Let's see if I've taught the system. I have not taught the system how to make those. So let's go ahead and teach the system how to make those. The null version at least. And it's just glass interconnects and iron. So pretty straightforward. And I believe the interconnects it already knows how to make. So it's just a matter of crafting them. So let's get the 4 null modifiers that we're going to need. And we'll... Alright, it's making concrete, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we'll see what actually comes from this. Excuse me. But first, before we do too much with environmental tech, that is going to be kind of the main thing we do. We have I have a ton of insanium from the Wither farm, and we're going to make Neutronium. Okay, you do need to go away. We're going to make the Neutronium Seeds, which is the last seeds we need to make. Pretty easy. And then we're also going to be making the Neutronium Crux, which is really easy considering it just takes Supremium. So we're going to put that in there. We do need to go grab a diamond block. But we should be able to just do it like this. And there is the Neutronium Crux. And that is literally all of the mystical agriculture seeds that we need to make. So what we're going to do is we're going to shovel this. Put the Neutronium Crux there. Let's get the dirt back in place. Let's use our stone hoe. And let's grow the Neutronium. So yeah, with that... once this grows, I can set up the rest of this system, which I'll do off camera, probably between this episode and next. And then we'll have all this stuff running, and we'll be gathering up more supplies from just everything. So I want to point that out. I did that. I got that stuff between episodes. And we have a couple other things I want to do today, but... I'm going to kind of periodically check on the Lunzelite because I would like to get speed upgrades. And so we'll worry about that. Let's see, actually, real quick. Get rid of that. Speed upgrade, speed modifier. It's the same thing. Requires 2 mica, but we're going to need just 1 of each. So 4 of these. And higher tier of the... ore miners do give us higher tiers of like additional modifiers. So we can have, for example, for a tier 3, we can eventually have 4 and 4, or up to 20 modifiers at a tier 6. So that is going to make getting the crystals a lot easier. What the accuracy modifier does is it makes the lenses a little bit better. So if we look at Lunzelite, for example, the reason we haven't got any is for basically any not preferred lens, it's like a 0.04%. That is next to nothing. But if we use the black laser lens, it's a 4.2%. Well, what the accuracy modifier does is it makes the preferred, so if we're using a black laser lens, for example, it will give us the things that we get from the black laser lens more often than not. So that is kind of the whole point. And that is, well, that's kind of important. When it comes to the crystals, that's going to be really nice because crystals are relatively rare. So the other thing we're going to need for the speed modifier is mica, which I said comes from the void resource. It's not as rare with any other laser lens, but we're going to use the preferred, and we might even want to make a tier 2. Now here is the cool thing about the void resource, void ore, all of those. They are the exact same structure. So all of the miners, all 3 of them, I guess, because there is the botanic miner as well, which I will never make. That's not really useful. All 3 of them are the exact same structures, if I'm not mistaken. So what that means is we can just replace the different pieces. So here is the troubling part. For the tier 2 void ore miner, we're going to need structure frames 2, and we're going to need 32 of those. So I taught the system how to make those, and structure frame 2, we're going to need 32 of these, requires a stack of iridium. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and just make that. So let's go ahead and get that. Which is why we're not going to worry about making the other forms, the next tier of the solar panels. I had to think about that one as well. I will be honest, I'm kind of out of it today, but I wanted to get this episode up and recorded and edited and all that fun stuff. So apologies if my commentary is a little bit distracted at times. Anyways, the only problem with upgrading to the tier 2 void ore miner is that iridium is going to be a little bit harder to get the farther we go up. So it's a 6% chance on a tier 1. It's a 5.5% chance for tier 2, and it just slowly goes down. The reason for this is not because it's getting less, but because there's more items that we can get. So that is a thing that we do need to kind of keep in mind, but it's okay. So we have that, and we're going to want, let's see, 3 laser cores and 16 structure panels, which we can harvest from the other one. So laser cores, let's go ahead and get the 3 of those. And then if we want to make the upgraded versions of both, we need to get a lot more. So we need 18 more. Yeah, so we're going to need 2 sets of 6 blocks of iridium for each of the tier 2s. So the tier 1 requires litherite, which I have not actually looked to see how much litherite we have. We have a ton. Okay, so let's make a few blocks of litherite. And we're going to make the tier 1 resource miner, not the other one. Okay, which is going to require a diode. I do not want to use that. Let's get some lenses. We're going to probably want like 3 of these, I think. We're going to need a diode. I never taught the system how to make this. Okay, whatever. And 2 interconnects. Okay, interconnects are easy enough. Now, before we mess anything up, let's grab a chest. Let's pop down here. And I'm just going to go ahead and place this kind of out of the way. And we're going to put the extra laser lenses in there. So we only want white, black, and the crystal for now. Eventually, we might want something else. And this is, by the way, not what we're going to do the entire episode. There's a couple other things I want to work on today. But this is kind of the most important. So do we have any Lonzolite yet? No, of course not. That's okay. We can make the Void Ore Miner Controller Tier 2 just fine. So Void Resource Miner Controller Tier 1, and then if we use this one, we can then get a Tier 2, and then what we'll do is get a Tier 2 of the other one, which is just going to require us to turn it off. Now, I do need the, what is it called now? Is it the assembler? What was the other? Oh, it was the Mob Factory has a weird building item thing that, yeah, it was just weird. Anyways, there is something we're going to have to kind of keep in mind, and that is this is going to be 1 block taller. So basically, we're going to need to move this stuff. And so I'm going to put this here. We're going to break this. We're going to break this. We'll leave that for now. I can get more item conduits. Let's go get the next tier. And then we should be able to make the Tier 2 controller just fine. It's just going to require us to break everything else down and go from there. But here is the Void Ore Miner Controller Tier 2. Now, something to note with these, the default duration and the minimum duration is both lower. So in other words, you cannot make the Void Ore Miner Tier 1 any faster. But the second one, it is reduced by 80 ticks, and with the speed upgrades, you can actually get it down to 80 ticks for every block, which is really good. And all the way to the Tier 6, you can turn that one into a 1 tick duration. So it's going to get a block every tick that it has power and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's get some item conduits so we don't have to move our chests theoretically. And let's pop back down here. So, actually, let's go ahead and move the chest. It doesn't really matter too much if we do or not. And then the question I have, we're going to put this here. I want to break this. We'll put the flux point up a little bit. And then can I can vein miner. And then we just break all this stuff. And what does it say? Shift for info. Don't we have to like... Okay, let's get up above this and start setting up the Tier 2 controller. So theoretically it is assembled. Everything is fine. Cool. So now we can just put the chest down, get that going, insert, extract, always active, and we should start seeing things go through here. Now, here's the cool thing. We can replace that with the Void Resource Miner whenever we want. And that's how we're going to get mica. We're going to basically let this run. That was that Lonzolite? It might have been. There's also the next tier we're going to be getting is Cryonite, which will let us make the Tier 3 stuff. So yeah, Environmental Tech now has a tiered crystal like upgrade system. But was that Lonzolite? It was. Okay, so perfect. So we're going to put this stuff away. Don't need that right now. And yeah, we'll get more of the Erodium eventually, and I am going to replace this with the Void Resource Miner at some point with the white crystal lens. And basically, I want to get some Lonzolite first. We have a little bit of a better chance, I do believe, now that it is a Tier 2. So we went from a 4.2, actually slightly less, to a 4.0, but we should be getting it faster because it's 80 less ticks that it has to go through. So Once we get the speed upgrades, then that will be even better. And I will be honest, I will probably make those off camera. They're pretty simple. It's just the modifier, some redstone, lonzolite, and the iridium with the mica. The mica is the challenging part. So, next thing I want to go ahead and do, and this is to try to get more, try to get more coal so we can finish getting the last of the red matter. We only need one more red matter to make our first energy condenser, but we kind of need to make 2 of these. The reason being is because we want to duplicate one. And we'll get to that later. But, because I think the transmutation table is really expensive. Yeah, it requires 4 of them, so we should just make 2 and call it a day. So we're getting close, but we're going to need a lot of coal to do that. Now, obviously, these things are going to make things a little bit nicer, but they're also going to take a long time. So if we can get things going a little bit... Actually, you know what? We're going to condense things. Let's take both of these out. Actually, let's take... they will store, so let's take both of these out. Of all of these. And what does it actually require to upgrade these? So these are the energy collectors. Just a single piece of dark matter. We could upgrade them all. You know, I might do that. Let's go ahead and upgrade one. And we can show off just how much better it is. So let's grab this one. And to upgrade this guy, we're going to need 1 dark matter and 7 of the other things. So glowstone. There, that's what it's called. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, I said. Alright, so let's get these guys placed. This is a Wyvern tier craft, so it's not a big deal. And dark matter, I have some in here. I'm going to actually not store the dark matter in there. I'm just going to keep it in here. And then we can go ahead and upgrade this guy. And the reason why we want to upgrade this is it's going to go from 4 EMC per second to 12. That is 3 times as much. And so if we can upgrade them all, that would mean a lot of really good things. So it looks like about 2/3 of our alchemical coal. We have our Mobius fuel has turned into alchemical coal blocks. More EMC. And once this is done, cool. We'll kind of see how good it is. And the idea is if we can get these things to be fully maxed out, it's going to give us Aeternalis fuel blocks, which we can then turn into Aeternalis fuel, which we can then turn into dark matter and red matter. So I've put a stack of that in there, and this one already has a little bit of advantage. You can kind of see, let's actually speed it up as well. And you can see that this one is going to slow down, and that is the first Aeternalis fuel. And that one is almost already to a second one. So yeah, they're so much better. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get these guys all placed. And then I might go ahead and upgrade some of these. But something that will help everything out is a better way to get coal. So we have a bunch of coal ore, but we can get more. And the way we're going to do that is with the digital miner and the mining dimension. But the digital miner is actually not that bad to make. We are going to need a steel casing. Easy enough. We're going to need 2 teleportation cores, which does require, so we're going to need 2, 4, 6 atomic alloys. We're going to need 2 sorters, so we're going to need some pistons. Logistical sorters, 1, 2. They do not stack, which is why I couldn't click them like that. and they don't like being placed in there. So we're going to need 3 atomic alloy, but that is literally just the enriched alloys. So we're going to need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish. Let's do 8. And let's see, what do we have in here? Anything? No, but we do have the refined obsidian dust, so we can get that turned into... I got turned around. In the infusing factory. That was the wrong thing. In the enriching factory, let's go ahead and turn one of those into something really good. Put the rest in our system. And we're going to need, I believe, diamond, compressed, and that's about it for those. So this stuff isn't too terrible to make, but we need to get the atomic alloys, which is reinforced alloys, which is enriched alloys. So diamond, compressed diamond, and compressed obsidian in that order. So we put that there. That will run, and then we can just do that and it will fill back up once we're ready for the next one. So everything else should be pretty easy. The robot requires a personalized chest, which is pretty easy, or personal chest rather. It also requires the energy tablets, which I think we can craft. And we're going to need some refined obsidian, which I could have sworn, weren't we getting that from chickens, I thought, but apparently not. Oh no, there's essence. Okay, so refined obsidian, I believe we can get that through the Osmium Compressor. And we just need 2, so that is perfect. And once that is done, we're going to need some more osmium. Let's get just... we probably have a ton of osmium. Yeah, we have a few. So let's just go ahead and get a stack of it just placed in here. And then here soon we should have that. And we should get the atomic alloys. Perfect. So what is the digital miner? What does it do? Well, it is actually really cool. It's a miner. That's pretty much it. What it's going to do for us is, like I said, really neat. So let's see. Let's get the robot. We need the personal chest. And there's the robot. And then the next thing we need is the teleportation cores, which I did get a bunch of gold. And so we're going to need 2 more of these. Let's actually speed this up. Perfect. That is a really cool trick, and I need to start using it. I have 85 hours in this bottle, so it's not like I can't use it. And then digital miner. We just need the logistical sorters. And there we go. There is the digital miner. So what's so cool about this thing? Well, we're going to tell coal ore and gold ore. And we're going to get some power. Do I have like a capacitor? Bank would work just fine. And let's go to the mining dimension. So what can we do with this thing? Well, basically, it will search an area, a fairly large area at that, and look for, we can tell it to look for specific ores. So if we just put it like right out here, let's put it right here actually, kind of nearest to our base. We can put it here. Power goes right here. And we can configure it to say, hey, new filter. I want you to look for ore dictionary. Is it ore dictionary? No. New filter. Item stack. I can never remember which one. Coal ore. Save. And then I want you to also look for gold. Fuzzy. No. Okay. And then I also want you to silk touch everything. And if we say start, it's going to see 67. And it is really slow. We could probably put speed upgrades and all that kind of stuff. But I think that will work. And so it's going to pick up all the gold ore. Let's actually tell it to stop. Reset it, configure. Let's get rid of the gold for right now. And let's delete this and do new filter item stack. Okay. Yeah, so whatever I did, let's reset it, configure it, new filter, item stack, gold ore, save, start. So yeah, there is a lot that is going to try to pull up. And so we just kind of let it run, and it will eventually finish up. I believe it is chunk loaded as well, so we don't have to worry about that. Like it chunk loads itself, I think. I could be wrong about that one. But I can go back there and have a ton of coal ore. I'll probably just take a builder's one with me. And when I get into the mining dimension, just set up all of that coal ore that we get and process it. Just break it down with our pick, which is why I want the unbreaking on this. So that is the digital miner. Now the last thing we're going to do today is we're going to make some modular storage. And this shouldn't take too long. We need a machine frame, and we need that. And then we're going to get a tier 3 storage, which is a little expensive, but not too bad. So tier 1 is just some gold nuggets, nether quartz, pretty basic stuff. And then tier 2 is a little bit more complicated. And then tier 3 requires blocks of things, including gold, so we need to get 2 blocks of that. I got a little bit of gold. I just basically processed the gold ore I had, and there is quite a bit. So tier 3 storage module. So what is this thing? Well, it is modular storage. We'll leave him. Why not? We're going to put this in here instead of this. So I have a ton of dimlets, and I don't want to have a ton of dimlets. There is a better way to deal with this, and that is the modular storage. So this is different. So we can put the storage in there, and we should be able to put all of these dimlets in here. Now it doesn't require power, which is nice, and we can sort things and all that kind of fun stuff as well. And so, whoops, I'm accidentally putting like everything. Let's just get everything in here. I can take out my items in a moment. So we have the advanced dislocator. Let's see. We can sort, compact equal stacks, show groups. So for example, actually, can we do that? No. So there's the storage crate, our bag. What else are we missing? Our Yeta wrench. Okay, so is that everything? Yes. Okay, so as you can see, we have a bunch of biome dimlets. We have some effect dimlets. We have some rare ones, in fact. Rarity 3. I don't like this recipe thing. I kind of wish I could get rid of it. But yeah, as you can see, we can kind of sort through all these things, and this will hold 300 stacks of different items, which is really nice for the dimlets. And we can expand that with, there is these remote storage things we can set up to have even more if need be. But let's see what kind of materials we have. We have ardite ore, which is not bad, aluminum, brass, ardite, blocks, those are both really good. Bunch of cobblestones, dimensional blocks, emerald ore, which is not bad. That's a rarity 5. Glowstone, which is pretty cool. A bunch of different glowstones, which are all rarity 5s. Lapis blocks, not bad. And then the cool one is the Prudentium Coal, which is a... we can get rid of that for right now. The Prudentium Coal is the mystical agriculture. It burns for longer than normal coal. So that's kind of cool, I guess. And then, like, if you want to make almost 7 million RF from a steam dynamo, that's how you do it. A survivalist generator, it would make 34 million RF over the course of 4 days. That's a little crazy. But we also have, we should have some liquids. Do we not have any liquid dimlets? Molten tin and water is apparently all we've gotten so far. So that is the modular storage, and we can have more of these. We can set them up to be a little bit better. But basically, these storage blocks, there are it's basically just a way to have mass storage in a single block, and it's really nice. So I'm not going to do that for these because there's no reason to. The dimlet pieces there's only so many of them, and so it's not that big of a deal. And so yeah, that's pretty much that. So Lonzolite, we have 4 of those. Perfect, that's what I wanted. So 4 of these. So now we just need to go get some mica, and for that we just pop down here, we break this, and let's get some white laser lens. We'll get that set up, and we place that down. We should see here in a little bit items flowing through, ideally. So yeah, that is gonna be about it for today's episode. I do hope these are the same structures they used to be. I don't know if they still are. Okay, they are. So it just gave us some white cobblestone looking block. I don't even know what that was. Let's see. Void miner, resource miner. I don't think that was diorite. It didn't look like diorite. It might have been limestone. It might have been marble. I'm betting it was marble. So yeah, we just gotta wait for a bunch of mica to come in, and then I can get speed upgrades to this. It goes faster. We have plenty of power. That's not really a concern right now. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So before we go, one last thing, we're going to look at how we have 6 Aeternalis versus 2. So yeah, I'm going to try to upgrade these with the coal ore as we get the dark matter, and I think that's going to be the best thing to do. And then hopefully here soon we'll have all of the dark matter or red matter we need to make our first energy condenser. Now we do need to get everything to draconic tier, which does require blocks of awakened draconium, a lot of gold and diamonds, which we're doing better. 230 gold, but like we have 1.6 thousand diamonds, and then draconium. We could also be doing better for draconium, although we're getting awakened draconium pretty regularly. So how many do we need to upgrade? Wrong thing for this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Do we even have 10? No. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I need to upgrade all of them. Do I have any more fusion crafting injectors? No. So I'll go ahead and make another one so we have a 10th, and we'll have to get this set up. But 2, 4, okay, so this is also 10. That is a little bit more expensive, but it's going to be a little bit easier. You'll see what I mean when we get to that point. Anyways, I'm going to try to upgrade some of these. We're going to need, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So that's 6 blocks of awaken Draconium. So hopefully I can do that without too much issue. And then next time what we'll do is continue working on, probably do some quests. Probably should do that here soon. Power generation. We should make the reactor stuff, get that out of the way. But then just kind of work on Project E and Draconic Evolution. So there is a lot to do, but we'll get it done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!